We're at 21051 Costanso Street in Woodland Hills, California, performing a video sewer inspection through the 3-inch main line cleanout at the rear of the house. Right now we're in the line. We're going to pull back real quick. We can see that part of this 3-inch line where they've tapped in from this back house into the front house, they're holding water. And we've got some water running. We've got the lavatory sink running right now. And this is where our 3-inch cleanout is, in the bushes over here. And that is the side of the house and the back of the house. And we're going to start running the camera. And as we get into the 3-inch line, we can see right away that we're underwater. So this line is flat. It doesn't have the proper fall, which may cause some problems, may cause stoppage issues in here. It would have to be taken all the way out to the front of the property and tied in much deeper to get the proper fall. You see all the debris in the water, and we'll come out of this somewhere about 25 or 30 feet, I believe. It's just really dark, just a lot of debris in the water. And now we come at about 25 feet. You see we start to tie into the property in the front, the sewer line. And that is a 4-inch ABS tie-in. So we're going to tie in, 3-inch ABS tie-in right here. And we're tying into the cast iron, and we're out about 26, 27 feet. And we will mark this later and find out exactly where our tie-in is. But now it's draining at that point. But before that, as we pull back, we're just under more and more water because it doesn't have a fall, because it doesn't have that grade on the pipe. To make our turn, and now as we transition right here, we're in cast iron. And we're going to run out the cast iron. This appears to be newer cast iron. It's not the old with the clay joint, or excuse me, with the concrete. These joints have rubber in them. They do not have lead, as some of the old joints had. And now we transition right here. We transition to clay. So we'll mark these two areas out after. We're going to try and run all the way out to the city sewer if we can get out there this way. We got a little bit of a flatness in this line as well, and it's holding some debris back. That might have been debris from the back house as well, holding it. Right here we're draining. We are draining fairly well. We don't have a whole lot of grade, but we are draining. Now we're going out toward the front. So far the lines don't look too bad, especially this property line for the house, the front house. Got a little bit of a belly in here. We're going to stop the water after, and we'll see if it's draining out all the way as it should. The water helps us push the camera out. We've got some debris in there too. We're pushing some paper. So far the clay line doesn't appear in terrible condition, except for the fact that we've got these low spots and these bellies in it. Got a little bit of root intrusion right here, just very minor. It's still maintainable at this point. We're going to go kind of fast to try and get all the way out, and then we'll pull back a little bit slower so we can really, right when we shut off the water, a little minor bit of root intrusion in that joint, again maintainable. A little bit of minor root intrusion again in this joint. There isn't any severe breaks that we can see at this point. Some more root intrusion, and still kind of minor. This is going into the 6-inch pipe. This is our 4-inch lateral to our 6-inch lateral. This is our 4-inch property line pipe going into our 6-inch lateral. At the property line, it'll go out into the city sewer. And we've got some heavier root intrusion. It looks like we have some cracks in the pipe right here in the 6-inch. We're going to mark this 6-inch transition at about 92 feet when we come back. See what the rest of the joints look like. The joint doesn't appear to be terrible. Those joints appear to be friction. Bit of concrete slag over for it, no big deal there. You're going to have to push a little bit faster and harder to try and get out here into the city sewer. It's stuck right here. And we're holding water right here a little bit. Pretty here, we're not getting past here. We're hitting something pretty hard right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut the water off so that hopefully we can see what we got in front of us right here. And we are out into the street. We're out into the street. About 15-20 feet. I believe we have an offset from what I can see. Looks like we're hitting the bottom of the fitting. I'm going to try and run some more water from the front house and see if we can float this camera up over this area. We got over it.
I like school and I like the teacher that I have there, but we have a lot of kids and stuff. School, hey. So it's just like, all right, I'll do this until I can get to college, like. It's very easy to not do that. It's definitely easy to not do that. Like it's better than like I did the opposite where I could take care of my habits. Like in junior year I was half there and half there. And I was like I took 2 IB courses. And so it wasn't like I wasn't in the direct program. Yeah, I didn't do a lot of it. I just did a couple of courses, but it wasn't like I was taking like 5 courses or like I did like 2 IB courses. So like I had a lot of extra support besides taking the courses that I had to start with that. And then my senior year I took like APRs.
Yeah, your APRs.
You think it's really not that hard. There's 24 pieces in a year that are like college level pieces in a year. So hard. So I mean I was so busy. I didn't know if you were watching or
Okay, we're going to try and run in some more. We got more water running. We've got something blocking our 6-inch lateral right here. Don't know exactly what it is, but there is something blocking it. And it may be, very likely, it's a liner coming from the city, from what I can see. They line from the Y fitting to Y fitting in the street, and I think that they impeded the Y fitting at this point with their liner. So we're going to go ahead and shut down the water, and we'll show the condition of the pipe.
There's no way you could just tell it's like 8 years old, like, oh, what are you doing, Joyce?
I guess I know.
Builds and she makes everything, she finds it, she builds everything, and she loves doing that because a lot of people make it, yeah. Oh, she always tries to help me do that, like, and she broke her foot, the first step on her foot, and she's like, this is out. Yeah, I know you can, I know, yeah, but when we took on that, broke her, like, so she couldn't, she couldn't do it.
And you're dragging it
around. Before that, she had 2 disc splits in her upper back, and she felt this control, she didn't know why, but she put a lot of figuring out. Shop, it worked. Other than that, it was And well, now she has a yard, she's like, you know, she woke up in the middle of the night, the worst life she's ever had. Like, she had no idea what was wrong. She felt like she broke her leg in her sleep. She had no idea. She was out takes the ER in the middle of the night. It's okay. What is wrong with you? Hey, I know. And they just like, oh yeah, it's bursitis. Like, it's just inflammation. We like an inflammation in the bathroom. So they're like, yeah, we can get you to frost and I just go down. It's just great. I think I'm so for one week she was like, all me.
It doesn't do that for me, but I've had bilateral herniated disc in my neck and my lower back, and so I had to take it down and I just like a half a month.
I had to get my wisdom teeth and like I flew up for an entire like 12 hours straight. They were like, don't take it again.
When I was
don't do well.
when I was young, I did that.
I think my liver was like, oh no, no way.
Yeah, I mean it's better.
I mean, yeah, there's no way.
I actually just took a half a month a little earlier.
Well, I would think
Yeah, no, it takes me real good.
yeah, I mean, that's where they like have to
Well, because the muscle is trying to get up and grow and everything. I have a full hip replacement a month ago.
You did?
Yeah, that's why I'm hobbling.
Oh, you're doing pretty good. Got my knee replaced, I know. Not fun.
No.
My honest.
Yeah, exactly. So the something, the lady something is trying to regroup.
Yeah, my mom's very happy at home. She was very active most of the day, and then for 6 months now, she has had to sit around. And if she can do some work, but it's not as much as she would like to do.
And you're just so used to it in your brain,
Before, I mean, that really like happened. Her shoulders and things, you know, she's like a stronger foot. So, you know, it's really took advantage and thought like, oh, you know, we found some help to train our cat, so we're showing her the you know, so sacrifice, remove it on, shot on her, like
I'm taking care of my landlord who died, and then the woman died in the hospital, and couldn't make a difference. I can take it over.
big and aesthetic dog, the dog.
I need to dig up the steps. I've been going to teach him to sit.
You can sit, right? Oh, yes, you can do it.
Maybe I should show Lucy how to sit. We're trying to find it. We can't find anything.
Simone? 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 I didn't know if you want to watch this or not. Sorry. Okay. Something kind of odd. Turn this a little bit. Have you stand back a little bit. Right here. That's good. Now I'm going to pull back, and you're going to see what looks like plastic or something. It's opening. What I think it is they shoot liners. They put liners in the city pipes, and I think they went too far. So it's impeding into your opening for your sewer here. So we need to send this to the city and tell them as well that they shoot the liner too far, they need to come in and they need to cut it back. Because that can cause a problem. You'll see it right here. As this is the opening going into the city sewer. You see that? You don't have much of an opening. This whole piece should be an opening. You see how far they shot it into the opening?
Oh.
line are coming in through the city
Oh.
sewer. So they need to get in there and they need to cut that back. You only have a very small opening right now where it should be like this.
So that's back stuff
They
up.
can. So that's gonna need to be done.
Okay.
Okay, and this joint, that joint doesn't look too bad, a little bit of separation right there. I think we have a couple bad joints in this 6-inch line, though. We're holding water here, we're holding water right here because of this separation and offset in this joint right there. We got a bad separation. That's the face of the pipe. That's the face of the pipe that we're hitting right there.
Okay.
So what it is pipes are supposed to come together like this. This thing shifted like this.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hitting the face of the
So what
thing.
did you return that?
That's going to have to be dug up and repaired. Yeah, it has to be dug up in the street. And digging up in the street, we dig up right where the city sewer is. We can fix that at the same time, where they're impeding into it. Fix this joint and pull a brand new line. We won't dig up the entire way, but we'll dig up from the property line to the city sewer. Okay? I should probably go out. You know what, I'll pull it back and then I'll mark it after. So clean water because that shifted quite a bit. The 4-inch coming from the house really didn't look too bad. It's a 6-inch, this lateral in the street that looks worse than anything. That joint looked okay. The joints are about every 4 to 5 feet. That joint looks okay. I think we're at 92 feet where it transitions. That joint's just offset just a tiny bit, not terrible. That joint's got some root intrusion in it. It's minor right there. This has got more major root intrusion in it, right here. So if you pull a brand new line, it'll take care of that. That piece out in the street has to be fixed though. This is offset pretty bad. And we're coming back up, and this has some pretty good root intrusion as well. That's at the property line. So this is our 6-inch. The rest of it coming back from there doesn't look too bad. I'm going to go mark this out, and I'm going to mark the other area out too. Okay? All right.
Oh, yeah, I know. Didn't do well without a switch.
Okay, we've marked this area 1 foot 2 inches deep. This is in the right corner of the front fence. It's on the east side of the property. Let me try and push back in a little bit. And that is our point right there where we have a pretty severe separation and offset. And we're going to try and go to right here and mark this area out. See what our depth is on our city sewer in the street. Okay, we've located this area in the middle of the street at about 6 foot 4 inches deep. there is a good chance that we could install a sewer liner from the property line to the city sewer in here. The separation is not terrible at this point. It's still at a point to where you could install a sewer liner. You may not have to replace it at this point, from what we can see. We're at about 124 feet right to the Y. This is a joint that's shifting and really getting bad. And that's got some pretty heavy root intrusion, and it's also cracked right inside the hub. You can see off to the left there's some cracks in the pipe. More than likely they go all the way around. It's just difficult to see with the debris in there. And then we've got more debris at the 4 to 6 inch connection. So we've got about a 30-foot lateral that would need to be lined. Now we're going to pull back and show the condition of the 4-inch pipe. A little bit of minor root intrusion here. You got a crack around the pipe right here, and that's where the root intrusion is getting in. It's not getting in at the joint. It's not getting in at the joint, it's getting in at the crack of the pipe. And it's just about 10 feet back from that. The joint's got some cracking in it. The hub's actually cracked all the way around. This hub's cracked all the way around. If we have more fittings and joints like this, it may be best to dig this up and pull a new trenchless pipe at the same time as you line the 6-inch, because it will do nothing but cause problems. It's going to separate, and eventually it'll sever. And you can see here, there's a crack up on the left-hand side of the pipe, up toward the top. See the roots starting to grow in that crack. So this pipe is failing. That joint appeared to be okay. That joint appeared to be okay. The joint's just offset just a little bit, holding a little bit of water. Not terrible. That joint's got, and the joint is, the pipe is spidering. You can see the cracks up at the top. Earth movement, which is natural, and you're going to have it, but it's eventually going to fail. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. We're making a turn. A little bit of offset here and separation right there. We're actually getting stuck to that joint. And then we transition to the cast iron, which we marked out on the side of the house. I'm making a little bit of a turn again. We're coming back toward our mainline clean out. And again, like I said, we have some issues with our fall on this pipe. This would actually have to be excavated and replaced all the way to the front of the property to get the proper depth. And that concludes our video sewer inspection.